How to grow gazania from seeds. Gazania pelleted seeds. I sow gazania seeds by broadcasting them evenly across the soil surface. Please keep the soil moist until seeds germinate. Seeds start to germinate. This is what gazania cotyledon look like. To me, gazania seed usually germinate between day 3 to day 7. You could start gazania indoors and transplant later. For me, optimal temperature for gazania germination 20 to 24 degrees Celsius, 64 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. When propagate gazania from seed, it is common to have some seeds fail to germinate. Gazania true leaf start to emerge. Gazania success germination rate depend on seed's quality, seed age, moisture, light, and temperature. For me, on average gazania seed viability are about 1 year. Seed viability is greatly affected by its quality at the time of collection, its treatment between collection, storage, and the conditions in which it is stored. For me, optimal temperature range for growing gazania is about 24 to 32 degrees Celsius. Soil I use for growing gazania contain cocoa peat, red burn soil, micro, fine sand, old humus, and charcoal. Gazania can be grown in almost any type of soil. Gazania prefer to grow in poor soils, especially sandy soils. You can use whatever growing media available to your convenience. As long as you use well-drained soil to grow gazania, you will be fine. For me, soil pH for growing gazania 6.5 to 7.5 pH. My soil pH when I try to grow gazania are about 7 pH. Gazania will tolerate slightly acidic and alkaline soil. Growing gazania in overly rich soil, nutrient-dense soil, will resulting in poor flower blooms. Once they are established, gazania can handle drought very well. Gazania need at least 8 hours of sun to thrive. Gazania prefer to grow in full sun conditions. If you growing gazania in partial shade location, your flowers may stay closed for a portion of the day. This is not good since it will cause the plants to grow lanky. I grow my gazania in full sun location. Container size I use to grow gazania, height 22 centimeters, width 29 centimeters. You also can grow gazania in bigger container than mine. The bigger the container, the bigger root system will develop and will resulting bigger plant. Gazania can grow from 15.2 centimeters to 30.5 centimeters, 6 to 12 inch in height. Gazania can grow from 15.2 centimeters to 30.5 centimeters, 6 to 12 inch, in maximum plant spread. When growing gazania, please make sure your container have good drainage. Waterlogged container will promote root rot. For me, the advantage for growing in container is gives me more control over sunlight, moisture, and temperature. If grow gazania in the garden, space plants around 30 centimeters, 12 inch, apart. For this growing season, on average my water usage are about 300 milliliters. In my climate, I water my gazania only when the soil a little bit dry. Time I water my gazania is between 7 to 8 in the morning. If raining, I do not water my gazania plant. Water usage depend on container size, container type, weather, and climate you live in. Your water usage may be different than me. Gazania do not require as much water as other annuals or perennials. For me, I find that overwatering is easier than underwatering plant. Overwatering will promote root rot. Gazania prefer to grow in hot climate. They can be grown as short-lived perennials in tropical climates. Gazania can tolerate some light frosts but not hard freezes. Gazania are considered annuals in the cool climates. Gazanias grow in USDA hardiness zones 8B through 11. Gazania are from Asteraceae family. Gazania native to southern Africa. Gazania genus has about 20 species. Gazania flower are daisy-like flowers in a wide variety of colors. Gazania flower heads, composed of disc florets at the center. Gazania flower close up at night and on particularly cloudy days. In plant biology, this behavior is called nyctinasty. Nyctinasty refers to the nastic movement of leaves or petals of higher plants in response to darkness. My minimum temperature when growing gazania is 24 degrees Celsius. My maximum temperature when growing gazania is 33 degrees Celsius. My average humidity are about 88%. I grow my gazania in tropical climate. Gazania are propagated by seeds or by division. The genus Gazania was established by Joseph Gartner in 1791. Joseph Gartner, our German botanist who wrote De Fructibus et Seminibus Plantarum in 1791. De Fructibus et Seminibus Plantarum, also known by its standard botanical abbreviation Fruct. SEM-PL, is a 3-volume botanic treatise by Joseph Gartner. Gartner named the genus after Theodorus Gaza. It was subsequently named in honor of Theodore Gaza, who is remembered as producing the first Latin translation of the botanical works of Theophrastus. Many of the species of Gazania are hard to distinguish. The number of species assigned to the genus has varied widely from one author to another. Gazania flower bud start to emerge. Gazania usually grown as ground cover in the garden. Gazanias also can be used as edging along sunny paths in the garden. Gazania also suitable to grow in the container. Gazania attract bees, birds, and butterflies. Some part of the world consider Gazania as invasive species. Please check with your local council before planting them. When growing my Gazania, I don't use any fertilizer. If you see your plant struggle and want to use fertilizer, please don't overfeed the plant. Overfeed your Gazania will resulting in poor flower blooms. Some sign of overfertilization are defoliation, very slow or no growth, yellowing and wilting of lower leaf and browning leaf tips. Please read and follow the instructions carefully before starting using any fertilizers. Gazania flower come in a wide variety of colors and patterns. Gazania flower colors are always in warm colors. Flower in the early morning. Flower in noontide. Gazania need deadheading to promote continued blooming. Deadheading is the practice used for the removal of dead flowers from plants. Gazania flowers also need to be deadhead before seeds mature to prevent self-seeding. By deadheading, we can maintain an attractive plant's appearance. If your container have some weeds grow in it, you need to do some weed control. Weed control is done to limit weed infestations and minimize competition between Gazania and noxious weeds. Weeds compete with Gazania for water, nutrients, space, and light. My favorite method for controlling weeds is pulling out the weeds by hands. By doing this early in the growing season, It will reduce the time required for hand weeding later in the season. Weed control is also important due to some weeds also harbor insects and diseases, which may then spread to nearby plant. When you're doing weed control, your gazania will thank you by producing more flowers. According to American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals website, gazania was not listed as toxic plant. But if eaten, it may cause mild to moderate, depending on how much was eaten, gastrointestinal irritation. The experts did not expect the problem to be severe or life-threatening. Since pets frequently chew on new plants introduced to the home, please take precaution. It is recommended to keep gazania out of the reach of your pets. It is also recommended to keep gazania out of the reach of young children. If you suspect your pet may have ingested potentially toxic substance, contact your local animal poison control or veterinarian as soon as possible. For human, toddler, young children, and preschool, please contact your local National Poison Center. Gazanias are easy to grow, low to maintenance, and everyone who loves flowers should try to grow them. Thank you for watching.